What's up, guys? Welcome back. I am Jenna Puzio, founder of fillyourbooks.com, and I am here with two of our amazing clients, Stephanie and Uli. We're here visiting them at one of their salon locations in Virginia. We're currently at the South Riding Eclips. They also have a location in Ashburn. We were there for a couple days, and I wanted to sit them down and pick their brains because you guys have put together such an amazing salon environment, business, and I think it's different than anything I've seen in the way that you guys have so many employees and the way that it's ran. But I would love to hear from you guys, whoever wants to take over the 5-minute synopsis of Eclips and how you guys kind of came about.
You want me to do that?
Yeah.
You do that. I'll jump in if I need to.
I always do my overview when I meet with people and interview. I'm like, what do you know about us? All right,
Yeah.
let me give you like the quick overview.
Yeah.
So we've been open 25 years. We have our location in Ashburn, and then we opened this location right before COVID hit. And when we started with probably maybe 8-10 employees. And then now we've grown to about 70, and that's with all of our stylists,
About
students,
70.
like
Yes.
all of those people, you know.
We also have part-time people that go to school and go to, college and then come back. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just kind of, I feel like years ago, we're doing little pieces of everything,
Yeah.
but just realizing we needed to just really grow our systems to make it work because we knew we wanted to grow and have more people and continue, to have this company. So
Yeah. Yeah. I know having 72 employees is probably, it's a lot of pressure. And I think that that's something that a lot of other salon owners struggle with. I talk to a lot of them all the time. How do you, do you feel that pressure? How do you embrace kind of the fact that, because you guys are a commission salon, you're like, I'm responsible for these people, kind of talk a little bit about how you navigate that.
you don't sleep. No, I'm kidding. No, I mean, I think over the years, more on a personal note, it took me many years to realize I can only control what I can do. Sorry.
Yeah.
And not control what anybody else. So I can only give people the tools and try to help guide them.
Sure.
But that's something that I think has made me realize that as long as I know my intentions are good and I know that they are, and I'm always trying to do the right thing, that's all I can do. So, but it took me a while to get there, and it still goes back there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do have to say, that's the reason. Stephanie is pretty much the reason why I stayed with the company for so long and became shareholder. Is my quick story.
Yeah.
I started working at Eclips as for part-time front desk person, and I thought it was going to be my summer job. And here I am 14 years later, and I'm pretty sure it's really just because of her and the way she runs the business. I mean, I've been learning a lot over the years. I think I've learned a lot, but it's all about how you feel about your people, and it's all about supporting them and making sure that you do the best that you can do to make sure that they have, everything they need to do to succeed, like in personal life and work life and all of that. So
Yeah.
that's a big thing.
And what was the thing that kind of guided you towards investing in something like Fill Your Books and marketing, considering you guys are well established in your area? You've been doing this for 20 plus years. What was the thing that kind of pushed you into that direction?
Well, I think it's because we do have an apprenticeship program in our salon, and it's constantly growing. I mean, currently we have 5 people, I think, that are currently are already brand new stylists on the floor, and then we have another 5 that are starting in September.
Yeah.
So we're constantly growing people, and we're constantly giving them education and opportunity to become a stylist. So the stylists that are established, of course, they can benefit from Fill Your Books, but these new ones are the ones that really need to have that exposure to new clients and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so I think that was something that we were looking for a while.
And I
before
think
we
it's
found you
just
guys.
different than what we've done before. So I just think it's like you just realize you need something different. And so being able to just reach a different number of people, and still work with those younger stylists, more on that organic marketing. But it's a struggle, especially when you start off. I mean, that's a struggle for a lot of them. And so this just not only helps them, I mean, obviously helps the company in general, but I think the timing of it too. I always say timing's everything.
Yeah, no, it's true. Would you say, or do you think the systems that you already had in place, like the systems that we've implemented, any marketing systems, really work without the current internal systems that you guys have in place for the team?
I don't think to the extent that it has, no. Only because I feel like, because we do have all these systems set in place, so to be able to bring another type of system in, it kind of just goes hand in hand. So we're just adding on to it, if that makes sense.
Right. And
Yeah.
we were kind of used to the whole, like, your spreadsheets and your tracking. We made our own, but but it was still kind of the same
We were
idea. So when
looking
we
at these
looked at it,
numbers.
it wasn't something brand new that we've never seen. That we kind of
Yeah.
knew where you guys were going with it. So that was helpful.
So I feel like we've said systems 1,000 times, and I think other salon owners hear that word thousands and thousands of times, and they don't necessarily know what it means. Is it a spreadsheet? Is it a notebook where we write down how we throw out the garbage, right? Like, how do you define systems, and how does it help?
Well, so that's a good question. I think any business needs systems, right?
Yeah.
And so what does that mean? And I work with other salon owners with that same question.
Yeah.
And it's really just developing what you want your foundations to be, like from the start. Because if you don't have those, you can't really build off of them, right? But again, I always tell people it doesn't happen overnight, so it takes time. But it's easy to say, oh, well, let's have systems and just put them on a piece of paper. But that's not really what makes systems. It's you have to work them.
Yeah.
You have to
work
stay
them
consistent.
and change them and learn, and there are always going to be things that work and don't work.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the foundations in your company, you're never going to grow.
Yeah.
So if you want to grow, you have to have those.
What are Eclips foundations?
Oh, good question. I don't.
Like, do you have core values?
We do have core values. I always say, so maybe this doesn't answer that question exactly.
Sure.
But I always say our goal is that we provide a safe environment where people are comfortable and can have a great career in what they love to do. So that's kind of like our big thing, is we want to make sure that we have a great culture, that people can come to work, have a good time. It's not going to be great every day,
Right.
But do what they love, but have a career out of it. And then, from our end, it's providing, the education, the motivation, the coaching, all of that stuff. So it's, we always say we'll put in work to someone just as much as they're going to put into it too, right? Because this industry is not self-motivating, right?
Yeah.
No one can do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think our values just go back to, I don't know. I guess we all care about each other. I know that sounds like, but we all just, you can't work here, I think, if you don't have, if you're not a nice person, you can't really work for us.
That's what I was
You
gonna say.
stick out like a sore thumb.
But you know what I mean?
Unfortunately.
It doesn't mean everybody's like, but if you're not genuinely nice,
Right.
then
Yes.
it's not for us.
And it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
We don't really, with the amount of employees that we have, we've hired, so many people, but it kind of just, if you're not part of, you kind of learn pretty quickly what we're all about and how we treat each other and how we want each other to be treated. So when something doesn't work out, it just kind of doesn't work out. There's nothing that there's nothing that has to happen. It kind of just weeds it all out. But yeah, we work with a lot of schools too, just to make sure that kids know coming out of high school, college is not the only thing that you can do. There are other places and other careers that you can pursue and actually succeed. And a lot of times people don't know that there are salons like ours, with the systems in place and the career path. And if you actually work hard and you want to do what you want to do and, follow all the steps that you need to, you really can make a great career out of it and make good money and have flexible schedule as you want, and all that good stuff.
Yeah. One thing that I really noticed over the past couple of days, and we touched on this at dinner last night, is you have employees ranging from 16
to 65,
which is, and everybody gets along, everyone gets along really well, and everything runs very smoothly. How do you continue to harbor that just smoothness, I guess would be the right word? How do you create that culture for people?
I think part of it is we've just continued to grow our leadership team, because with this many people,
one person
can't
You gotta
delegate,
delegate.
And so that in itself, I think, has been huge for us, because then there's just more people, just making sure and being on top of and knowing what the expectations are to keep that going. And I think too, just when people start with us, our goal is that, you know, this becomes their home. Doesn't always happen, like she said, but so that our goal is that you just know our expectations right away, and then that just continues. So everybody everybody just knows, so that it just kind of flows. I always go back to nothing's ever perfect, right? And I think something that we've learned over the years is like every 6 months you have to go back and talk about or reteach the things that you've done. You know, even though this has been in place for 20 years, we still every 6 months need to readdress it or change it or you know, whatever it is, because you just realize that that's how often you have to do that.
Yeah, and that's coming from, I mean, we were just talking about the numbers, you guys. What was the combined revenue for both of the salons?
Last year was
3.3.
3.3 million for the year. And I want to highlight this for any of the salon owners that are watching, because it's like that stuff doesn't go away. Like, you're still talking about the same things you need to be talking about every 6 months.
All the
and
time.
Like, you still
we
have
still
to
talk
reinvent
about
the wheel.
dress code. We
Yeah.
still talk
All
about
the time.
assistant duties. We still, I mean, yes.
Being on time.
Yeah.
No salon's different.
No,
that's
and
what it doesn't matter.
I think there's
no
a
salon's different.
misconception with owners that it's like you like create this like dream world, and you're gonna be like, oh, when I just hit this number, life's gonna be great and everything's gonna change. It's like, and it's not that life's not going to be great, but the foundational pieces don't change.
It doesn't change.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
How did you mentally make that shift? Because I think a lot of people, I don't want to say maybe they get offended by it, they get frustrated by it, the fact that they have to revisit these things, or they have to be a people person, like to be in the salon owner role. Were you always that type of person? Did you have to make a switch?
Well, I think you still get frustrated sometimes. I mean, for myself as
Well,
well.
yeah.
But you just learn how to get over it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I just don't take things personal
Yeah.
anymore. I mean, like I said, I think part of
Yeah.
it was I don't take on that responsibility of other people if they do something they shouldn't or whatever, those
Yeah.
kind of things. I think the shift was, I think when we started developing the systems in our company, I feel like that's where the shift happened. Because then I thought, well, if I'm going to do this and this is what I want, then I have to be like, this is what has to happen.
Yeah.
Like there was kind of no going back.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't say something and not do it. Like if I'm going to say something and do it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, you have to have the follow
Right.
through.
Yeah.
I think for me it was when I realized that I'm not going to be just a front desk person anymore, even though I still was in college. Because when
Right.
I started working, I was full. At that point, I worked full time, and then I went to college part time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm still going to finish it, even though I'm not going to probably use it.
Yeah.
I mean, I majored in finance,
for
so
you.
it helps.
Do
You know
what
what?
you
I do use it. I majored in finance, so
Yeah.
it works. But I think that was the switch for me, where I realized, well, a lot of it, Stephanie too helped me a lot, but it was when I realized that this is what I want to do and this is where I'm going to stay. So
Mhm.
I have to do it the way that doesn't affect me personally, if that makes sense. You know, like
Yeah.
just everyday life, like other people will be, you know, they're going to do what they're going to do, but I just need to stay true to myself and just make sure
Yeah.
that I follow what I need to do, if that makes sense.
100%. Yeah, no, totally. Because you had brought up, Stephanie, you put into everybody like they're going to be here forever. And I think a lot of other salon owners have that same care. Like I think everyone comes from a very positive place. And then when those inevitable bumps in the road happen, it almost makes them sour towards that, like creating that environment for people. What would, for both of you, I guess, what would be your advice to them to continue to have that positive focus?
So I always say we would have 0 employees if somebody did something wrong and then we got frustrated and let them go. Like literally, we always joke because as people grow just personally, I mean, that's half of what we do, right? On the personal end. So I just feel like being okay with people aren't going to be perfect and there are going to be things that people do, shouldn't do, need help with, don't need help with, and just knowing that no one's the perfect employee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, very easily you could get frustrated and then just sort of get, you know, just kind of bitter, really. I mean, but you know, we have people that have left our company and we kind of have a joke. I mean, they all want to come back.
They,
Yeah.
they always want to come back. We had some employees that got hired twice.
Yeah.
Like they left and then they came back and then they left again and they came back again. And you know what? If she would have come back and moved back into the area, she would have been hired again. You know?
No, I totally get it. And because the team you guys have is so tight knit, but it's